Hello everybody, and welcome to a little plan with me for the week of May 5th. And you will see that I am now in my new cover, which is Franklin Covey Compact with 30mm rings in the Quetzal leather, which is this gorgeous like nubuck feel. And on the inside I have the undyed leather. This combination, when I saw it and Rowena showed me, is incredible. And I just want to clear up a couple things because I'm really, to be quite frank, a little bit sick of my own shit, but also knowing that I'm trying to make the best decisions that I can and using my decision-making skills with much more intention this year of really reducing my consumption of stationary items. Now, things that I've purchased this year that kind of flopped was like my Hobonichi weeks, which I guess that's the only thing I purchased that really flopped. But then I did end up adding in the A6 Han for my daily Stoic reading, which has been going fantastically, and I'm really happy with this choice. And then I did get a new cover for my TN that was bigger than my VDS cover, and I love it. And then my world imploded in a good way in sort of the beginning and first half of April, which is when I switched from this into this. So if you watch my April planner update, you'll see I was in here through the 14th and then in here from the 15th on. And there's a reason for that. Wanting to keep everything in one place as much as possible. When I originally set this up, I did use a lot of my stash that I already had, and I used another cover that I already had. I used dividers that I already had. I did purchase some pre-printed inserts because, frankly, I just did not have the time to sit there and print and cut inserts and needed something very functional, very fast, and much more modular and separated than my TN system even was. And that's because I recently added a new role into my life as working as a functional nutritionist for a longevity-based health startup that virtually serves people all over the country and is a lot of what I've already am doing and have done in my business and my coaching career. And so that means that a lot of things have shifted and are still in transition right now as I'm exiting other roles with things that I'm involved in, and then just restructuring how my business looks and then bringing on support where it's needed so that things can keep running and I can still fulfill my commitments and promises to my current clients while also stepping into this new position. And when I tell you, I did not read, I did not knit, I've been working not this past week, but the week before, on top of dealing with insomnia since about mid-March, working a lot of hours just out of basic necessity. Like the work had to get done. I had deadlines and commitments that I made, and it just had to get done one way or the other, which is why with the addition of that new role, as much as adding a few bits and pieces into my Notion setup are working, which I'm currently in the process of revamping a little bit of my Notion setup, although some of the core pieces are staying the same, a lot of my stuff had to go to rings. And so I whipped out my tub of items and goodies and again purchased some stuff for convenience, which has been really great. Like I purchased these weekly habit trackers from Infinite Lotus, and they've been loving these. These have been fantastic. And I purchased this monthly pre-printed from Maypaper Co. and these daily trackers, which has been, again, fantastic. Really happy with that decision just to get in here and get into this setup quickly. And then I do have a bunch of files of printables, but again, literally, when I say I literally did not have the time to sit there, sift through all my files, see what was what, and print and cut all of the things, it just, the time did not exist. When you're working till 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, sometimes later, 10, 12-hour days, you just literally don't have time. When I say the time was not there, the time was literally not there. So I just had to do what made sense. And thankfully, I was able to use a lot of my stash. Now, I did pick up some new dividers from Infinite Lotus, but I went to go purchase more because I realized I wanted to switch to these thinner vellum dividers, and they were out. So I ordered some additional dividers from Vixie's Plans because she has some really great vellum dividers that are similar, and I ordered some side and top tabs from her shop on Etsy. And right now I'm just using whatever I was able to cobble together of my FCC dividers because I never really had true FCC, because this is Franklin Covey compact size. I never really truly had FCC dividers because I just cut down what I had from personal wide and made it fit to FCC. So I was like, if I'm going to purchase one like big thing for this setup, it's going to be the dividers, because being able to section things off in a way that makes sense to where I know where I can easily flip to and from things, that makes all the difference in the functionality of rings. And I did grab a couple extra printables, and then I already had paper to print on, and I already had ink and punchers, and I already had dashboards and all this stuff. So this is this cover, and to be quite honest, I'm going to also say, in the spirit of the unhauled year and not over consuming stationery, I was not planning on purchasing another cover. And I didn't purchase another cover. Rowena from Sojourner, her and I are both locals. We live in the same area. We actually met in person at a local coffee shop here, and she offered to make me a FCC sized planner. She had a prototype, and we tested the prototype, and I'm putting this to the test and giving feedback as we go. And she was asking me today, do the dividers overhang, and helping her kind of finalize the setup of this. And in trade, I gave her a bunch of things printed off and gave her some of my pre-printed stuff of an FCC so she can test out the size and the setup herself for her own business and her own uses and show her own audience. So I gave her like a bunch of dividers. Again, I had a ton of things already in my stash, little different pieces of little ephemera. She uses Pocket a lot, Pocket and A6, and I even had some stuff from Pocket because I'm not going to go into Pocket again really ever. It's just too small. I used it for a month or two last summer and it was great, but knowing that I would only use it for a little while, I have other things that would work better for if I need something compact and traveling than setting up a whole new rings planner. It just doesn't make any sense for me. So I gave her a bunch of my other goodies, and then we did a little trade, but she was able to meet with me and I was able to pick out my leathers and did a little barter, so to speak. And this is gorgeous. So we did discover upon the initial evaluation of everything that the size that she made, which was funny because she was telling me how she accidentally made it bigger than she intended, actually fit everything perfectly. Especially when you close the cover, you don't want there to be like overhang, right? She's trying to make it as like compact as possible for people, and I think we pretty much hit the mark because none of my stuff overhangs, right? If anything, maybe my pen sticks out a little bit, but not my dividers. And nothing has gotten squished, nothing has gotten damaged, none of these have been discombobulated by having my pen up in the front here. This is an insert from Paperbound Creations, and I have another one in the Milky White Star, and I love these dashboards because they also have a little secretarial pocket. And so the way that her planners are set up is we have a little side pocket here, which is great for stashing just random bits of paper. I have this from work that I need to deal with. And then I put a little sticker here in the front where I just clipped it with a die cut. And then I put a washi card, a little clip, and then back here I have this little card that came in my package from her, and then my passport insert, which is my weekly spending tracker, and that just fits here. And then I put my little star clip from Vixie's Plans on the front because I just thought it looked so darling. This Quetzal leather with the undyed and then the gold, and then it just, something about this really scratches something in my brain. And what's really exciting for me is this is my first actual FCC sized cover. Everything else that I've used Franklin Covey Compact in has either been Franklin Covey Compact inside a personal Mo term, which does fit FCC, albeit a little tightly with the way that I use it, or it was a personal wide cover with FCC in it, which was fine. I have other personal wide covers. I will still use them. I'm sure I will hop in and out of different covers, but I didn't realize how much I would love having an actual FCC sized cover for this. And I love this cover because it's so slim. So part of what I've not loved about the Mo terms is they have this big back pocket. So you get your cover and like you close it and you want to stuff it full, but you can't because there's so much leather that it inhibits. And this is so flexible. And I've got this thing 30 millimeter rings stuffed full, has a notebook in the back cover, and it is like still could fit more. Like realistically, there's room. So the perks of having a slim profile on this leather, just really great. Now, I would not actually stuff it any more full because this is already going beyond what I think is reasonable, to be quite honest, but I could, and that's really nice. Now, the only feedback I gave Rowena already was that this string, I wish it held a little tighter, but I put it in my purse and it's fine. Like, it's it's got a little wiggle room to it, but that's the only thing is I feel like the red elastic could be a little bit stiffer, but it's getting the job done. And other than that, everything has been fitting and functioning amazingly well. I just love it so much. This is so soft. It's like this gray, charcoal, blue, green, depending on the lighting. And I love how slim it is because when I carry it around with me places, especially in my office, if I'm upstairs, downstairs, in a call room, and at my desk, if I'm at my house, if I'm on the go, it's just feels good in hands, and it feels good to tote with me from place to place for being as chunky as it is. And a string around a rings cover, like, didn't realize I would love it as much as I do, but I really do. It's just satisfying. It's just, again, it gives that compact vibes that you don't get with a snap closure. I don't know. Okay. So I showed you my insides here. I did a little overview of this to start with, but I added a few new pieces. So I have my little sticky notes here on a divider cover, my little annual sections here, my monthlies here. So I did set up for the month of May. So I have May plus my May tracker for my vitamins, steps, and sleep. And then I have this little section here, which is my annual trackers, which is going to be like, this is my weight log. I have a cycle and intimacy log. And then I have a workout log, which again, look at April, you guys. I only worked out once. This is when I stepped into the new role right around here. And you can tell it's just been rough. It's now May 4th, and I think I have the energy tonight to get in a little Pilates workout with some other mobility work. And so that's what I'm going to aim to do tonight. Just something quick, 20, 30 minutes. My goal this week is to do at least 20 minutes of something every single day, as this is not good for my mental health, friends. Like, not moving my body like this, absolutely not. And especially with the insomnia, I think if I get back into a regular workout routine, my sleep will start to correct. I'm not taking anything for my insomnia. I'm just raw dogging it. Then we've got my monthly tracker, which is like personal care. And some of this might be redundant, but it makes sense to me the way that I'm tracking certain things. So like, it looks like I have a lot of different trackers for things that kind of overlap, and you would be correct. But this is just how it works in my brain. Maybe I'll change it at some point, but I like having the slightly different layouts. I like different views for different things. Like in here, having my injections and peptides on a monthly view makes a lot more sense, whereas these personal care habits on a monthly basis in this layout make more sense versus stuff I want to see annually makes more sense this way. So there's a rhyme to it, but it's just what my brain likes. Then I've got this weekly section, which I printed from Infinite Lotus that I'm testing out because while I don't love a weekly, I'm realizing that with my Google Calendar being as chaotic as it is, and I have like call blocks blocked into my calendar for multiple different things, that I want a clean view of what my week looks like. And then it has this page, which then has a little to-do list for each day plus a little habit tracker. So I played with it last week. I'm going to set it up a little bit for this week. And then the meat and potatoes is obviously in my dailies. My page on to date from Lily Paperco, which is owned by Kim from ADH Done. And I have all my dailies from May in here. And now that I've actually done my journaling for my 5-year, I can actually take out my dailies from April and stick them in my archive. Notes, then I've got inbox pages, which do need to get updated. So I'm gonna pull a lot of these out because I need to clean up and migrate a few of these. I have 2 different types of inbox inserts in here, and I need just the plain inbox inserts. So am I out of those? Did I run out of the plain inbox inserts? Do I need to like just make more? What? Okay, I'm not gonna maybe print those today, but I'm gonna steal a couple of notes pages and just repurpose them. A lot of times I'll make a task specific inbox. So I need to print more inbox inserts. So let me write that down. And what I've been using here is just a Sarasa 3 clip pen. I'm in a fight with Udiball right now. Did that, print, inbox, inserts. I did that. I did that. I did not do that, did not do that. I'm doing this right now. Cool. I did that. I did that kind of. I did that. Need to do that still. Did this. This is my to-do list. And then I just have then back here meeting notes, which is an insert from Infinite Lotus that I ordered pre-printed. I love this insert. Then I've got back here a few miscellaneous items. So like an order tracker, a wish list, which I have a few things I want to add into here, and that's pretty much it. And then the only other thing I added into my annual section at the back was a medical visit log, which once I get my dividers in, I could reorganize and section things off in a much better way, because I want to know, I want to flip to this section. I don't want it to be stashed behind this. I want another divider here, but I don't have another divider to put there. So right now it's just hanging out there. So I marked in when I had blood work drawn, and then I'll mark in if I have an annual visit or like an eye exam or a dental appointment. I won't put my therapy in here. I need to actually put in another marker. I want to put in like an annual tracker, a year on 2 page kind of therapy log where I can just put a highlighter dot on the days that I go to my therapy appointments. That's a thing that I need to do. And then this was like, I love having this notes because these were a bunch of random bills that I had to pay. What day did I pay them? Like, where did these go? So yeah, love that for me. So let's first look at not just the inbox, because I might have things that need to offload into it. So I'm going to set those blank pages off to the side, and I'm going to pull my inbox stuff over here to the side, and I'm going to go through my dailies from this past week to start with and just sweep out anything that I don't need. And actually I need to close these out before I do anything else. So I took these out, but I actually still need them. I need to make sure I clear them out before I take them out and archive them. Okay. So I'm going to start from Friday. I was out of town. Saturday I was out of town. Okay. So I need to put on my master to do, and then I'll do things into my, that's already in. So I need to put 5, 6 event prep. So I just have sort of a master list from this past week that has a little bit of room on it still. So I'm just going to add things to this, and then this was deliverables. And then I'll add to it, and then I might clean it up a little bit with a new, I don't need to worry about that. Brie K. I need to do that. Okay, that's a given. So okay, so this is for Monday. So actually, and I'll probably do more than that, but these are people that I have calls for on Tuesday. So this is Tuesday, 5/6. So today is going to be check-ins, call prep, and HIPs, C in box. Okay. So this is from Thursday. This is done. This is done. Oh, check form. Because there was issues with my check-in form last week with my clients, and the things disappeared, and they fixed it, but I gotta test it tomorrow just to make sure. That's already moved. I know I need to do marketing stuff, so I already have that on. I think I already have that on a to-do list, but just in case, I got these, I did that. Fix my back pen loop. Fitbit to Apple Health. I'm gonna put that on my personal inbox, which needs to So I have a Fitbit Smart Scale. It just doesn't talk to Apple Health, and that's really annoying me, and I'm trying to find a workaround, but if I can't find a workaround, I might just buy a different scale that talks to my stuff without me having to go back and manually update it. So it's just a nitpicky thing. It's definitely a want, not a need. And PI number. We're done. I'm starring both just so I don't get confused. And when I put a star, that means that day is done. Did that. Find and clean earrings. Okay, I should put that on today. Find. I took out I have my ears pierced up the side, and I took out the earrings to clean them, and then I lost one of the backs, so I need to find the back before I vacuum the house and then clean them, because I still need to do the floors tonight, because it's only 5 o'clock on Sunday. I was doing a lot of personal things like around the house today, and then I went and got a facial, which was much needed. This is done. Did my RX pickup, which was good. Did my peptides. Finally started Reckless. Okay, so this is done and this is done. Word. So I don't need these dates from April anymore. They can go into the archive, which I'm going to get a Franklin Covey compact storage binder for a lot of my inserts as I take them out. So that way I have an archive of the year. I have all my other inserts from different years in baggies in a bin, which works, but I would love to be able to put things in an actual binder to flip through stuff if I want to go back and reference it. Okay. This is today. Journal we cleaned. Facial Lulu. Call Taylor. No, I'm ordering more refills, but this black refill is so sad. Oh no, oh no. Hold on, do I maybe have another? I have refills on the way. They're not here yet. Oh, that's a red. Where's a black Sarasa refill when you need one? I literally am having the worst luck with like refills and pen refills and having the right size for things this year for some reason. You guys, I'm so over it. And this is, nope, not the right one. I wish I ordered them sooner, but man, like my Uniball refills, the reason I'm in a fight with my Uniball refills is because I will literally start a brand new one and it skips as soon as I change it out. And every 4th refill is fine, but I keep having to throw out these refills because they just don't work. Like this one, for example, is almost completely full, and you see how it skips. And this refill is full. I'm so freaking sick of it. So sick of it. Okay, pause while I figure out my pen situation now that this ran out and I don't have my refills until later this week. All right, after pen testing a whole bunch of pens, of course, and another brand new Uniball refill that was not working and kept skipping, I found a Sarasa Dry that has a little juice left in it and I think will last until Tuesday when my black pen refills for my multi-pen arrive, because I've really gotten used to now using the red and the blue, and it's going to be weird not having them now. The red and the blue, when you really just need something super functional and straightforward, is really quite useful. Okay, so that being said, let's now start moving some of my to-do lists over. So this one I don't need to update. This one is for me to keep track of what videos I've videotaped and whether I've offloaded them, edited them, if I've sent them to Lissa to be edited, and if I'm done with them. From today, what is today, 5/4, I have a April planner overview and a plan with me week of 5/5. These now 3 have all been offloaded, and I know they either need to be edited or sent to Lissa. So if they're like assets for my business, she's starting to do a lot of my B-roll editing, and so I'm just kicking things over to her because that's just something that I can offload to her and she's willing to do it, so why not? So this just can stay, this will go back into the inbox section. My HIP builds, I'm covering the top after these because it has people's last names on it. I do believe I can still use these. I don't need to make a new version of this. So this is going to stay put because I can just add to the bottom of this list, which will be great. And then I put the due by on a little sticky note, which can just, again, stay on this paper. So I have a little number. So like group 1 was due on this day, group 2 is good this day, group 3 is due on this day, and I will just continue following that. So these 2 are fine. And I will probably go through this and like white out people's names so I don't have to constantly put sticky notes over it. But I'm fine with first name, last initial, but when it's their full name, I got issues with that. So this is like my master list for work plus like client deliverables. So I want to leave this and maybe just add to it, if that makes sense. Because there's still a lot of things on here that are valid. Like I still need to do them or they're currently in process. I don't want to rewrite everything. These are deliverables, so this can still stay. So I'm going to leave the date and I'm going to write this. Oh, because then this is also deliverables for different client lists. So this actually will work. So let me do master to do 5-5. So these are good to go. And then once this fills up, then I'll move this over. But these are fine. So these are all good. These can stay. And then as long as I have what it is on the top, I can find it. And a lot of times what I do with these inboxes is I stick them in between my daily. So I have my notes and then my inboxes for all the various things. And once I'm done with them on Monday, I'll move them to Tuesday and so on and so forth. And that's why I use like a 32-pound paper and I slit the sides so I can easily move them back and forth. Now, this is done, so I can move that. This is done, so I don't need that, but I do need to clean this up. So this is my personal inbox. So I guess I don't need to use my notes pages. I just need to write a new inbox, and then I need to take some time to print more blank inbox pages. See, I'm used to using all the colors. This is going to be personal week of 5-5. And sometimes things will go, so like I put like week of 4/21 and then 4/28. So I didn't rewrite the list if I don't need to. And this is an urgent later now and done from Planner Room Shop, which I love. And that's done. Oh, that's done. Okay. Dress, order. I need to order my bridesmaid's dress like tomorrow when they open. Amazon return. This does need to get done this week or I'm going to lose that return window. I did that. A lot of this stuff is urgent because it's stuff that I need to get done like within this week. Adulting log update, that's like a later task that can be done when I find time. Told her I would do that this week and I didn't. Need to update my cards for a couple things, which can be done sometime this week. I'm going to print some weeklies for Rowena. Did my Lulu exchange. This is more of a later. This is more of a needs to happen now. And that's pretty much everything from my personal inbox. And so a lot of the reason that things are like marked urgent is because they've been now going on. This is the 3rd week and it's like, you need to get your shit together on these. Now I need to go in and do my weekly. So what I'm going to do is take all my little inbox pieces, and this one can go into the no longer needed pile. This has to get flipped that way. I just like blacked out people's last names. That was easy enough to do. Here and here. And I'm gonna just stick these back in the inbox section, and I will pull them out as I need to tend to these lists as the next couple days go on. What I love about rings is, and I think this is why people also love discs, is it's very easy to like make it modular and move things where you need them when you want them. And then when you're like, okay, I don't want to see this right this second, let me go put it back to where it belongs. Okay, dailies I don't fill out until like the night before. So like I'll definitely add to this list because I know I have more call prep than just these 4 calls this week, but I'll do these, I do them usually a day or 2 in advance. And so I set up the dailies as I need them. I already set up my habit tracker for this coming week. So my habits that I'm doing based on my goals, all my goals this year, I thought they would evolve more, but with the way this year has gone, it's just been, they're mostly surrounding personal development and emotional intelligence, finance, and just being mindful of spending. And then that's pretty much it. So spending logs, did I fill it in? No food delivery, no stationery, no clothes, no Amazon miscellaneous. Did I microjournal? Did I do my daily Stoic reading? And did I do any personal development reading? And that's what I'll track this week. I've been tracking, did I work out like these weeks here, because I literally wasn't doing a whole lot of anything else, and I just wanted to try to focus on something. And like these weeks were where things were really up in the air, so I even had like my vitamins on here, which is not normal, but that's what I love about planner systems, is you can use the same tools but repurpose them as you need to from week to week. So this is more reminiscent of what this is meant to be initially, but it worked really great doing just a weekly habit tracking for some of these things during a really crazy, this is right when I came in on with the startup. It made a difference being able to just streamline and downsize. Granted, I wasn't in this until the middle of April, but I had this information logged somewhere. Doing a weekly habit tracker like this instead of how I'm used to doing it, it made all the difference. So it's about making your planners work for you versus, no, I have to do it this one way and it can't be anything different. Let it flow and adjust as it needs to. That's why even with these, like, these change. They're not exactly the same from month to month. They change based off of what I'm actually doing and what I actually need to focus on. So if I didn't log something because I didn't do it, and I tried logging it for a full month and I just didn't do it, why do I keep writing it down? Like, it's not gonna make me do it. Use that space for something else that's more meaningful. Let me though get into my weeklies. So I'm gonna actually pop these out of here. And I'm not gonna use it this way, but I'm gonna use things a little bit differently. So I'm gonna pull these out of here and just grab my calendar and start inputting a few things. So different appointments and stuff that I have. And I was actually supposed to be out of town tomorrow, out of office, but since we came back early, I'm gonna just use the day to work and get ahead on a few things, which will be really nice because I was supposed to get my period at some point this week, and I also have an in-person event, so I can use tomorrow to get ahead. So I have a little buffer in the middle of the week, which will be great. So 9:30. That's it. And then Tuesday, I have a and then 11 to 1. Teacher appreciation event. And 3. Cool. Thursday 9. And then nobody booked on my calendar for Thursday. That is strange. All right. And then Friday. Wednesday, Thursday is when I'm supposed to get like my cycle. So I'm just marking that in, which is why I pushed a lot of things into Friday, Saturday this coming week. So Friday is my heavy day, which is not normal but it is what it is. It is what it is. Then Saturday I am also working. Again, not normal for me to do this, but I'm just shifting my week around to accommodate for some potential health stuff that I'd rather just push people to Friday, Saturday than have to cancel on a bunch of people midweek and then reshuffle them. Like, that just, to me, is worse. But that's my personal opinion. Okay. So this is good. This is good. This is more reminiscent of what my schedule should look like. And then I do have a chiro appointment and I need to book another one and I need to book in like a massage somewhere. That's where we're at with this. So now what I'm going to do is in here, I'm going to flip over, and this is where I want to make sure I put my recurring tasks. So priorities. So big thing this week is the teacher appreciation event. And that's on Wednesday. That's smack dab in the middle of the week, in the middle of the day. I don't know why I did that. I know why I did that, but still. Okay, priorities here is going to be check-ins and check-ins, call prep, and HIPs. Those things are pretty much every day. Event day, today's case studies. No, the pen is running out, you guys. Why? Hold on, let me find, can I just find another pen somewhere that's somewhat working? All right, Sharpie S Gel. It's a 0.7, so she's a little thick. Case studies. Call prep, HIP. So we're just gonna have some weird variation in pen thickness this week. Let me zoom in a little bit so y'all can see what this actually looks like. And then this is going to be FCA check-ins, call prep, HIPs. And then I need to figure out priorities. What are we doing for Mother's Day? I need to book chiro and body work, and I need to order my dress. Then Friday is call prep, HIPs. And then obviously in the midst of this too, I will have like different ad hoc tasks that come into play. And that's a lot of what goes on my dailies. Saturday, I'm going to be working. The goal is to wrap up any deliverables that pop up through this coming week. Again, keeping in mind that Wednesday, Thursday, I'm going to have maybe slightly slower days, potentially, just depending on how my period behaves. And I want to be mindful of that. So that's why I'm shifting into the weekend. And then this is Mother's Day, which I gotta call my brother about. Okay, so now we have a tracker here, and I'm not entirely sure how to use this tracker. I used it for tracking like day-to-day things like AM and PM message sweeps, but I don't need trackers to do that. So what I actually want to do here is see what days I engage in my hobbies. So reading, which you'd be shocked, but I went a solid 3 weeks without picking up a book on initiating this whole transition period. Reading, yarn projects. Again, I'm going to log this annually, but I want to do some kind of like 20 minutes of movement daily. And I think that's what I'm going to leave it as. If I can just do at least 20 minutes of movement daily, and maybe at least like, I want to do at least 3 days of this and maybe at least 4 days of this, and then let's say 5 days of this. that's all I'm going to leave it as. And if I want to add something else in here later, I definitely can. Okay, so hold on. That's personal. I do know what I want to do. I need to actually reply to people in my DMs. So this is personal, this is work, but that's where we're at. Okay, so that's my overview of my events for the week, which I like seeing this because if you looked at my Google Calendar, it looks way crazier than what this looks like because I have all these overlapping blocks of time for things as I have different calendars that open up for different things and some things do overlap. So having something like this where I can see what is actually on my calendar, not like what is the block of time on my calendar. And now granted, some of it can change still as the week goes on, but this gives me at least an idea. And I just have a little bit of here like buffer. I've added it. And so I just want to make sure I have buffer because that's an in-person event that I need to get to. We're probably going to do like a work from home this day just because of this event. And then because I have really big call day here, I'm going to probably do another work from home day here. And then I'll probably go into the office Monday, Tuesday, Thursday into my co-working space. So I have my desk still at my co-working space. Why does my camera keep doing that? I have my desk still at my co-working space, but also we have our office for the startup in the co-working space. That's how I met them. Like my desk literally faced their old office. And then they were like, we want to hire you. And I was like, oh my God, okay, cool. And like, I knew what they were doing and I had said, I'm interested in getting involved at some point. And then I just built a relationship with the CEO and the co-founders and the marketing team and like the director of wellness and the whole team there. I just built a relationship with them and really love what they're doing. Aligns so much with what I do and why I started doing what I'm doing. It's just a different mode of delivery, and I'm still working out how to like talk about everything because there is some overlap, but at the same time it's not exactly the same. So it's going to be a little weird transition period here, but we're going to get with it. But I really like the weekly layout plus the like priorities for the week plus like a little note section. Like this makes sense to me. And it's not the detailed to-do list. It's like an overview to-do list. The detailed to-do list is in my dailies and in my inbox inserts. This is more, can I get a clean view of what the week looks like and what are the non-negotiables every single day? So that's that. All right, my friends, that is pretty much it. So let me stick these weeklies back into the section over here that they need to go into. If I can find it. Here we go. So this was this week, and this is perfect this week. And then I'll move everything over in the morning. All right. That is all she wrote, my friends. So we got weeklies. My monthly's already pretty much filled in, although I do want to do one of my peptides injections today, so I might drop that in there. I think I'm going to do that before I go to bed tonight. So let's actually do, I don't use it every week anymore. I use it maybe 2-3 times a month, but I want to do just a little 10 units of semaglutide on today. I use a little bit of the semaglutide, like a few weeks a month, 2 to 3 injections, because I have Hashimoto's thyroiditis. And what I found is even when you do everything perfectly, that LDL slow creep is real, and semaglutide actually has a lot of really great anti-inflammatory, neuroprotective, great for autoimmune disease. It's cardioprotective. It has a lot of great benefits. So I cycle on and off of it as the year goes on, and I just use a little tiny bit. It's the same reason why I'm using the glutathione and the NAD. It's really to help manage like my inflammation and my chronic disease. And the peptides game is really changing. And that's one of the things I love about this startup that I'm working with is we're really into offering peptides more readily available to people using really reputable pharmacies. So as the peptides game grows, there's a lot of sketchy people out there offering peptides, and not all peptides are created equal. You've got to get it from a good source, and you've got to know what you're using it for, how to cycle on and off, how to stack things if necessary. But yeah. All right. But that's all she wrote. So my monthly, my weekly here. And then my dailies, which I set up usually the night before / the day of. So I'll continue setting up this daily as tonight and tomorrow morning goes on. There we go. I hope you guys have enjoyed this little plan with me, and I'll see you on the next one.